Hi and welcome to this Libra March 2025 bonus reading. This is a bonus, I would say, for the eclipse season in March, and also for just everybody who finds this and needs to have a little more insight into their situation at this time and is looking for some outside perspective. Maybe that's what I do here. So yeah, first part of the reading, as always, I do a general energy. Second part of the reading, relationship dynamics. So the general is really focused on you and your development. The second part is focused on how do we live our relationships on the outside. So yes, that's what's happening here. I do use Western astrology as an additional interpretation tool. I am not an astrologer. I don't necessarily believe in astrology. It's just very connected to the tarot cards, and the history of the cards has a very strong standing, so I do use it as well and integrate it into my readings. Okay, enough said. Libra. I don't know why this is happening. I also channel emotional and physical reactions. So I feel quite anxious before I do this reading. Maybe there's some anxiety happening. It's a nervousness that I cannot pinpoint, but let's see. Death card. Yes, so we are still. I feel like Libras have been at it for quite some time. We're still shedding and shedding and shedding and going to the deep issues and going to the deeper roots of the things that really need to change, and we are creating our new senses of, or new sense of consciousness. We are creating fruitful ground to put new seeds in that can grow, especially when it comes to our mental programming. Death card, very deep stuff. This could feel quite anxious because you're really letting go of parts within the self that no longer serve you, that really need to die. You know, it's like it's this type of transformation where it's like this is forever. This is not just like, oh, this I cannot do this anymore. Maybe I do it in a year again. It's like, no, this needs to go from my life. This part of my old self is just like it's gone. It's not. We don't want to bring it back to life, and that's such a maybe even something that we've been avoiding. It can be something that we really are relieved by. It can be a quite relieving experience to finally, let go of these parts and finally transform on this deeper level, so we can tell that actual change, long-lasting change can happen and can stay, and new things can grow, and that we finally have the chance to grow new things. Because sometimes it's our existence and our whole personality is so cluttered that parts just need to, go out, leave. I feel like cleaning out space could be important. Maybe letting go of stuff could help you go through a transformation right now, especially maybe also all physical and material things, because we do have this new moon and full moon cycle in Virgo and in Aries. So it's beautiful that the new moon in Aries is bringing in also the spring. So this is a very much spring cleaning energy. So maybe you want to do spring cleaning. I'm for sure like in that energy where I'm like, I constantly just see stuff that I want to get rid of. It's like I have too much clutter. So declutter could help, also mentally and psychologically could be a nice tool to be able to just let go of parts that we no longer need, really, or that no longer have a right to physically exist in that form. It sounds intense, but yeah. Oh wow, yeah, Six of Swords. At the same time, I think by exploring new grounds, by exploring new knowledge, by exploring and opening up our mind, and learning probably also. Going into spaces of learning that we haven't been before, gaining knowledge, we are more and more able to let go of certain parts of the self or of our personality. So this is linked to maybe some studies. Maybe you're studying, I don't know, manifestation, or maybe you're studying spiritual teachings, maybe you're studying something completely different. Maybe you're just like, I'm going into a completely new thing. I want to learn about physics, and that just means certain parts of myself are not going to serve me anymore because I really need to focus on this thing. So it could be as simple as that, but I think with the eclipse season, it is a profound thing here that's happening. I love it though. It's very serious, and not in a bad way, not in a scary way. It's like, it's a serious business. Yeah, and as I say that, it's so interesting. And it could really be about business, and about business decisions, about money, about material things. It's interesting that the business side of things is coming out like that, as I say that, because the Knight of Pentacles, of course, is about serious business. He knows how to control and how to manipulate and how to grow the resources of nature, the resources that are given to us in this real physical world. So he is also the farmer, he's the agricultural knight who knows how to work, you know, as I said, fertile ground, to plant a seed, to make things grow, to also understand that some things take time to grow and stuff like that. So this is also about work and putting in resources into work, and maybe working together with other people could be really beneficial, but this is really about putting in work to have results, you know, see gains, stepping it up, maybe even taking on more responsibility, maybe even having a promotion, or getting a promotion, or having a higher position, or putting yourself in a more responsible position. So there's a lot of energy here also. And we have the Prince of, it's very interesting, we have the Prince of I want to say fire, but it's Prince of Wands, it's the Prince of Fire, and the Prince of Discs also here. So yes, this is a lot about taking action, to arrive more and more in a very stable, grounded energy that is very much in the present, and very much living a life of resourcefulness in the present. That's the Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Discs. Living a life of resourcefulness every day, and therefore manifesting abundance and riches. Because how, you know, it's like it's how you also handle your resources, and not so much how much funds you have. It's really how you handle them. You see so many people who are lottery winners and then they lose all their money. You see so many people who made it in business and lost everything, and made it again and lost everything. And I think, yes, that's a frequency thing, and yes, that's also teachings, of course, where sometimes we need to lose to be able to repair the vessel so we can hold. But this is, I think, what's happening here. We're repairing or stabilizing a vessel, and also getting rid of the things within ourselves that keep us from holding that stable space. Very intense. It's work. I think it's probably not the easiest work, but it's not non-rewarding, you know. Finding your own resourcefulness again, I think, very practical and real information and knowledge. 6 of Swords. Amazing reading. Grown-up stuff. That's the grown-up stuff here. Yeah. You could be, there could be help from a earth sign person, maybe a Capricorn. The Knight of Pentacles is here. We have a Scorpio indication here. We have an Aquarius indication here. Pluto is in Aquarius. Maybe that's in a house for you that's significant. And Pluto in Aquarius would also make sense here with the Death card, because the Death card can also be linked to Pluto. All right, so relationships. This other person, this doesn't have to be a business, interesting, huh? This doesn't have to be a business relationship. This is a Freudian slip. I want to say this doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be a business relationship, but it might probably not be because I said it before. Let's see. This other person, maybe undecisive. Somebody is maybe undecisive what to say, and they want to say they're 2 pieces. I kind of hear, but they kind of holding back. Hanged Man, yeah. Maybe you're dealing with a Pisces. There is a person who is kind of restricted right now and is really not, is having maybe some restrictions to really be able to communicate. Maybe they're also trapped in a situation. Maybe they're also trapped in, like spiritually, they really need to go deeper to learn how to let go and to understand their own divine energy a little better, to be able to move forward in a connection with you. It could be as easy, the Hanged Man could be as easy as just somebody being completely just unable to move out of a situation, therefore they just cannot make much effort into a relationship because they're just bound by other things that are kind of also spiritually binding them. So there's maybe somebody's having a hard time moving towards you, but I feel like they're looking at you. It's a little scary though with this mask. And there's a second mask with this mask. It's a little bit of a, it seems like they're trapped by their own psyche. It's a little scary. I don't know. I hope you're not dealing with, you know, yeah, somebody is maybe also having a weird obsession going on, and they know they need to hold it back, and at that time the candle is going out. Yeah, it's kind of dark. It's kind of dark. So make sure, you know, you protect yourself. Queen of Coins in the reverse. It's just a lot on a visual level that these cards are saying, so I'm trying to find the right words. It probably is a good idea to not show people the full picture of what you're dealing with, maybe with your own business or with your own financial development right now, because there is a sense of not having enough stability within a connection that is kind of like making you a little vulnerable. And with this whole Hannibal Lecter type of hanged man situation here, we don't want to appear vulnerable to people like that, because that's like prey, you know. It is still a queen of coins, though. It's not so much, vulnerability can also show in a way of overgiving. We don't want to overgive to people who are trapped in their own thing anyway, you know. So the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse could very much be about overgiving, or putting our resources into situations with people who are just not enlightened. It sounds very stupid and kind of judgy, but it is not so much about, because it doesn't have to be romantic, you know. For me, there was also just popping people in my head right now that are completely not a romantic situation. So it could be friendships as well, or just in your environment, but it's probably a little closer people. It's like you don't want to be prey for people's own, wow, this is deep. You don't want to be confirming people's spiritual restrictions and held back development by showing them that you're right now maybe not in the most stable, grounded position. And don't let people feed off of that. You will not be able to make them transform. That's their job. It's not your job. Your job is to probably really cut out those energies. Because the Hanged Man is number 12. 13 is, you've been there. 13 is the death card. This is exactly what happens. You know, once we've reached that level of spiritual enlightenment with the Hanged Man, once we find these answers within, we are ready. We are ready to let everything go that does not pay rent in our head, that lives there rent free. And this is, I think, what you're doing. I also see, like, here for some reason, counting blessings, counting your blessings, investing in learning. People are watching. I feel like people are watching you, are watching your moves right now. Even people who know maybe, and close people who maybe know which situation you're in right now, they're seeing, but they're not perceiving you fully. They kind of just see, they don't see the full picture. You turning their backs also to people who are not, this is so interesting. I think you're turning your back also to people who are just not spiritually on your level. It really sounds condescending, but it is not. It's just definition of how things are, really. Or not definition, and analysis of how things really are. And yeah, wow, okay. So what is the connecting part still, or what is the lesson here with people like that? Page of Swords, learning. Beautiful though. Huh, yeah. And the Queen of Cups. There is still a lot of very compassionate and gentle energy. This Queen of Cups for me is always also a therapeutic type of card, this specific illustration. there is a very gentle and caring and loving energy at the same time as well. So I don't think we need to be too scared about what I was referring to earlier about those, you know, Hannibal Lecter type of energies. It's just this card is kind of scary, but it's not that it's coming towards us. It's what people maybe might be dealing with within themselves. There is a lot of still learning and understanding. And maybe somebody who is trapped is trying to learn and understand more. There's open and honest and curious communication, maybe also. And maybe seekers, you know, are also trying to connect with you on a certain level. But you could also maybe think back and learn and remember, because this Hanged Man symbolism is very strong, especially in the Crowley deck, of there is really no such thing as sacrifices, and there is really no such thing as restrictions, and there is no such thing as hard lessons. You know, it's like, it's a very freeing, enlightening thought to see everything as a gift, even the quote-unquote difficult lessons. It could also be that you're just like, okay, there's a person who is trapped. If this is a more romantic thing and you feel like, okay, there's a person who is trapped in a situation, I'm just not going to invest into it. I'm going to invest in my own knowledge and my own development. I will still be open to conversation and talk, you know, but I'm not going to let myself invest any to nurturing energies into a certain connection. So yeah. That could be just a very, very superficial type of reading the situation. Wow, okay, this is intense. Libra, interesting though. Very serious grown-up stuff is happening here, I feel like. But yeah, you go forward with what you need to do, because it seems like you're really on the road to success, and therefore you're really doing what needs to be done, and that's impressive. So yeah, thank you so much, and thank you so much for being here, and I'll talk to you soon.